Hey everyone, me Kevin here. I popped the Topo Chico to talk about nothing other than Lucid Motors and the rumored partnership with CCIV in, well, SPAC IPOing. On January 19th, 2021, I sent an alert to course members that I was investing heavily, a heavy chunk of money into CCIV. Now, I haven't, or hadn't at least at that point, invested a heavy chunk of money into really anything in quite a while because I just haven't found smoking hot deals. It's been a lot of, let's put, a little bit here, let's put a little bit here, and been sending out alerts like that. However, when CCIV came to, potentially be a rumored partnership with Lucid, I disclosed that I had invested $500,000 into ticker symbol CCIV, a speculative SPAC that is only rumored to be merging with Lucid Motors. Since then, obviously, a lot of attention has been focusing on CCIV, not just on YouTube, but on social media. A lot of people have been following this rumor. And I want to start off by showing you my actual portfolio in Lucid, or not in Lucid, it's actually in CCIV. We don't know if it's actually going to merge with Lucid Motors, but I want to at least be transparent here and show, yeah, it's done very well. $503,000 went in, and it's currently sitting at a market value of $1,009,000, which is totally crazy. Like, I'm jumping up and down inside over this, and when we crossed 1 million on a live stream, which happened live, I was jumping up and down then as well. But we got to talk about the truth about Lucid Motors and CCIV. So let's go through this. But first, this is going to be a little intense, so I want to remind you. Get your life insurance in as little as 5 minutes by going to the link down below or going to metkevin.com/life. And of course, get 2 free stocks with Webull. Deposit $100 with Webull and you will get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,800 or $1,850 just by going to metkevin.com/Webull. Check out those links down below. All right, let's hit the content. So, Lucid Motors, in my opinion, will be the NIO of America, a luxury electric vehicle manufacturer with technology that rivals Tesla, if not even in some cases is better than what Tesla has. We'll see. They've got some bold claims. We'll see if they turn out to be reality or fiction, which we've seen a lot of fiction in the stock market over the last 12 months, specifically with a company that rhymes with Ricola. But anyway, we're going to, Lucid, that is going to start out with higher-end vehicles and eventually work their way down from $150,000 to $160,000 vehicles all the way down to $25,000 vehicles, meaning that Lucid has specific plans of competing essentially directly with Tesla at almost every level that Tesla sells vehicles. There's even potentially a rumor that maybe in the future we'll see a Lucid-style pickup truck. Who knows? Nothing's being ruled out. Right now, though, all we have are a bunch of rumors. But these rumors continue to fuel excitement over stock ticker symbol CCIV, which will, rumoredly, if that's a word, merge with Lucid Motors. And things have gotten so exciting with Lucid Motors and this potential partnership with CCIV that over 50% of CCIV shares are owned by institutions. There is also Sculptor Capital, which has over 6 million shares invested in the company, which this capital firm is run by somebody named Brett Klein, who has an oddly similar name and potentially might be the brother of Michael Klein, Michael Klein is the director of the Churchill Capital Group, who puts together CCIV, which makes you wonder if, would a brother let a brother invest in a company that's not going to do really well, especially 6 million shares? And then there are other rumors as well, like the following one, which we talked about on Friday with course members. I sent out an alert on Friday while we still had opportunities to trade, that there was a particular company or a financial management firm called Magnetar Financial that manages over $12.7 billion of money, potentially as high as $23 billion, depends which date you look at assets under management for. But anyway, this particular company has an insane investment in CCIV. They own, apparently, they just disclosed this, 17.9 million shares out of the 207 million shares available in CCIV. That's 8.69% of the outstanding float Magnetar Financial owns in CCIV. That's crazy. These are the things that continue to fuel the CCIV rally and boom because there's so many large institutions diving into this. It's not the Wall Street Bets community this time, although Wall Street Bets does talk about CCIV. You've got to give credit where credit is due. There's a lot of institutional money flowing into this particular SPAC, and it makes us wonder, what's the truth about this SPAC? What's the valuation really like, and do we have to be concerned? Now, I'm going to pull open a spreadsheet here, but I want to make a quick note before I do. If you want any alerts directly from me when I send them out, remember, you only pay once if you're interested in joining the stock group. You get unlimited alerts from me, daily live streams when the market is open. Use that coupon code down below. It's HODL. You get 38% off, and you'll see those teachable links down below. Look for Stocks and the Psychology of Money. A lot of people bundle up with a real estate investing group as well, or the other options that are available like sales, property management, or making YouTube videos so you too can create a side hustle talking about your favorite investments or what you'd like to talk about on YouTube. It takes you through everything, so check out those programs down below. I'm regularly filming new content as well. In fact, right after this video, I'll be adding some new lectures to the Stocks and Psychology of Money course. I'll be filming those tonight. And folks, I'd look forward to seeing you there. Okay, so back to Lucid. Let's talk about this one here. The company is rumored to have a $15 billion valuation. That's Lucid Motors. Rumored to have a $15 billion valuation if CCIV ends up selling for $10 per share, which is kind of the par value for the SPAC. So if Lucid Motors is worth $15 billion at $10 per share, then we can kind of use this as a way of comparing Lucid Motors, if this merger happens, which is what's expected, to other companies in the industry. So let's take a look at this. There's a company called Arcimoto, whose CEO I interviewed this morning. Arcimoto has a market cap of about $1 billion. And if we wanted to value Lucid Motors at the same market cap of Arcimoto, we would see a share price of CCIV of 67 cents. Okay? Then, if we look at $15 billion, which is kind of that par value, that's where we get $10. Etsy, if we compared Etsy with a $29 billion market cap to Lucid, or CCIV in this case, again rumored, then CCIV would have a share price of about $19.66. If Plug Power, or if Lucid had the same market cap as Plug Power, then CCIV would be trading for about $21.17. Xpeng, CCIV would trade for about $24.69 a share. Right now, as of February 12th, CCIV, with no actual sales for Lucid, no actual vehicles sold yet to customers, zero. There are hopes to produce 30,000 vehicles a year at their Arizona factory, which they built in breakneck speed. It was like 10 or 11 months. A lot of investment money from Saudi Arabia helping fuel this and making this construction move faster. Hopes to produce at one point 400,000 vehicles, or at some point in the future, 400,000 vehicles a year. A lot of big hopes for the company. But on Friday, February 12th, CCIV, with again the rumored merger between Lucid and CCIV, CCIV traded for $39.34. At $39.34, this particular company, Lucid Motors, would be valued at not $15 billion, but instead $59 billion, which is again substantially larger than Arcimoto. I mean, we're almost 60x Arcimoto, 2x Etsy, 2x Plug Power, and not quite 2x, but substantially larger than Xpeng, a Chinese manufacturer producing somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 vehicles per month, and they're actually already selling those vehicles. Okay, CCIV, no vehicles sold, almost $60 billion in market cap. General Motors has a market cap of $77 billion, which again, if we compared that to CCIV, would give CCIV a price of around $51. NIO has a market cap of $94 billion, which if CCIV matched NIO in market cap, the shares would be selling for $62.75. In my opinion, we kind of get to crazy levels at $120 billion market cap for a company that literally has no sales. Like this is kind of like, okay, is this where, does it just make sense to sell and take some profits if this stock runs up double from where it is today with no sales? And if the company were valued at what Tesla's valuation is, then CCIV would be trading for $541 a share. So, obviously, a chart like this can give you two sort of versions of potential reality for Lucid. Well, one is, okay, here's a company that's way overvalued for having zero sales. Or option two, hey, look, if in a couple years this thing is producing 30 to 60,000 vehicles, maybe even 100,000 vehicles, well, that might not be unreasonable. The thing would be selling for a little more than Xpeng and less than NIO. That's not bad. In fact, some would argue that Lucid is worth more than NIO. So NIO is worth around $94 billion, which puts CCIV somewhere at $62 if it had the same market cap. Some argue that if Lucid Motors is producing as many cars as NIO is, an average of 7,000 per month, 7,000 per month is, somewhere around 84,000 vehicles per year. Which they plan to have the production for. They'd have to expand their factory a bit, so maybe we'll be there in a couple years. If Lucid is there in a couple years, many argue that Lucid should be worth a lot more than NIO. See, NIO is a phenomenal Chinese company, but as United States investors, NIO is a Chinese company that does still have some chance of being delisted from US stock exchanges if tensions between China and the United States rise. Now, I still think the delisting risk is low. It's like 3%. I think there's a greater chance that Lucid doesn't end up partnering with CCIV, which kind of makes CCIV more risky. But there are a lot of folks that believe, hey, look, here's the thing. When we compare NIO to Lucid, CCIV, rumored, I always got to asterisk with rumored. We got to remember that, yeah, NIO has offices in the United States, and one day NIO will bring cars to the United States. We're probably not going to see NIO cars in the United States until 2024 at the earliest. See, it's not as easy as just setting up a new factory. It's literally redesigning critical aspects of the car to meet the country's vehicle codes, retooling machines to do that. And NIO, quite frankly, and this isn't to slam them, but NIO doesn't even do their own manufacturing. It is what it is. They need a manufacturing partner. So are they going to partner with another manufacturing company in the United States, which is different from the manufacturing company they partner with now in China, JAC? JAC doesn't operate in the United States. So that means you have two totally different manufacturing partners. That'd be like iPhones getting manufactured at Foxconn, but then also getting manufactured at some other factory halfway around the world. Then you got to somehow have a consistent quality standard here. It's different from like a Tesla, right? Tesla, oh yeah, we've got Tesla Fremont, we got Tesla Shanghai, we got Tesla Berlin, and Tesla Texas, but it's all the same company. NIO would be coming to the United States, have to find a totally different manufacturing partner or decide to do their own manufacturing. And then are they going to bring battery swapping here or not? Totally different company, right? So when we say Lucid could be the NIO of America, it's important to consider that, yeah, if Lucid ends up being the NIO of America, it's probably going to be worth way more than NIO China is worth to us as United States investors. So it's entirely possible that once Lucid gets to the point where they're manufacturing as many cars as NIO, Lucid's going to be worth a whole lot more than NIO. So when we think about it that way, and we go back to this chart here, this sort of comparison of market cap, maybe having a $62 share price for CCIV isn't that insane. Because maybe in 2-ish years or something like that, we'll be there. We'll be at basically NIO's valuation, but with this American company, Lucid. We'll see. But these are some of the things to consider when you're looking at CCIV. You're really investing in a company that has a market cap of about $59 billion now, based on rumored information. And if this rumor falls through, this thing's going to go whoop right back down to like $15 a share or $12 a share, $13 a share. It's going to be really painful if this merger doesn't happen. But that's not the only risk. So like I'm giving pros and cons here. You kind of have to make your own conclusion on this, and I'll give a little thoughts or some thoughts to this as well. But here's another risk to consider if you're investing in CCIV. What if they come out, the Churchill Capital comes out and says, hey, the amount of shares we were getting in Lucid was X. But because there's been so much demand for this stock, we're actually going to be getting less shares. That is, CCIV is going to get less of a percentage in Lucid. If that happens, then the valuation of Lucid goes up. Let's say the valuation of Lucid goes from $15 billion to $20 billion at the $10 price. Well, that changes the chart completely. It basically makes Lucid and CCIV look even more overvalued, and it makes you start scratching your head like, oh my God, are we in a bubble? Okay? It basically means that if CCIV's stock price, if they came out with a $20 billion valuation over here, which is possible, it basically means that if CCIV is trading for $14.75, they're worth as much as Etsy. $15.88 worth as much as Plug. $18 worth as much as Xpeng. Right now, they're at $39, which would mean they're worth more than GM. Okay? And they're knocking on the door of NIO at just $47. So there are a lot of crazy things that could happen with this company. Huge, huge potential. I think it's more valuable than a NIO in America. But because this is just a rumored partnership, that valuation number could change and can have a big, big, big impact on the stock. A lot of people are really excited about this announcement to happen because there's a thought that as soon as Lucid confirms the CCIV merger partnership, people are going to plow into the stock, which I think is true. But if the fundamentals of the deal change and all of a sudden the valuation comes out higher than expected because CCIV is getting fewer shares, it's going to be bloody. It's going to be bad. So I, in part, am excited about the announcement of a merger between Lucid and CCIV, but I'm also partially dreading it because obviously I've got some skin in the game here, right? Full transparency. I've got some skin in the game on this stock. It makes me nervous, but I'm also very enthusiastic. And so here's kind of my bottom line thinking on this company. For me, I am okay staking, and yeah, I say staking, but I'm okay staking around 5% of my portfolio's value on this company, which is about where I am right now. I don't know if this company doubled where it is now, then I'd be closer to 10% of my portfolio, around $24 million in the market right now, just in stocks, my stock portfolio. I'm not including any real estate. If this thing doubles again and all of a sudden I'm at like $2 million in this company and it still hasn't manufactured a single car, well, maybe not manufactured because they do manufacture their beta units. It still hasn't sold a single car, which we expect to happen in June, July. That's probably when I start scratching my head a little bit more and go, do I trim a little bit? But the problem with me is I take a very Warren Buffett approach and I don't trim. Like if I'm going to sell, I sell. I'm out because I'm either adding or I'm out. Now, I have trimmed before, so that's not entirely true. I have trimmed before just to reduce margin exposure. But if you're trimming for the sake of, I think the value is high, I don't do that. If I'm going to sell a little bit because of value, I sell all of it. So I want to be in this company long run. I don't want this to be a short-term trade. So in some sense, I kind of don't want this to go to $80 a share. But there's so much enthusiasm for having a number two here in America, a company that is preparing to have autonomous vehicle software integrated into it. We'll see what happens, waiting for an announcement on that. We know this will be ready to adopt autonomous driving facilities. We don't know if they're going to partner with Mobileye, or partner with NVIDIA. Who knows what they're going to do? Qualcomm, so many different options for self-driving technology. Who knows? Maybe they'll even license some self-driving technology from Tesla, and we'll have like the craziest, oddest package of news to unwrap. I don't know. But look, I'm bullish on the company. $40 a share, I'm bullish. I'd prefer to add to this position if it was under $30 a share. Like if this sells off and it goes under $25, I'll add to it. Yeah, anyway, for now, I'm diamond handing this one. I'm excited. Hopefully this added some insight. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more content like this. Use that coupon code so you get my alerts early when I find companies like this that I want to invest a chunk of money into. The most recent one was Matterport. We got into that one around $13.50. It's around $16, $17 now. Great company, so check that one out. That's another SPAC. And yeah, look, SPACs, you always want to remember they are risky. You don't want to have these as, the only thing in your portfolio. I'll pull it up here. Certainly you don't want to have it in as the only thing in your portfolio. But this is another one that I did go heavy in, so I'll pull this up right here. So I put $336,000 into this one. I'm up 33%, and we only invested in this company about 2 weeks ago. Bought in about that $13.45 there. Last price at $17.95. Okay, so a little higher than I thought there. I mean, not bad. That's actually really awesome. I don't know how sustainable things like this are. We'll see, obviously, but very excited in both of these companies, and we'll see where they go. So thank you so much for watching. Again, consider sharing and subscribing, and folks, we'll see you in the next video.